Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It is summer solstice out here. Okay, that is look at my old fashioned working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. Earrings. My blazer also has shoulder pads. Okay, let's bring back the 80s. Ew. Anywho, I don't know why I forgot to do this story earlier, but I had notes on it, so I have found it. Um, Jeannie Mai and Young Jeezy divorce. Um, he filed for divorce, so that nigga is out of the sunken place. Congratulations. And yes, the mammies are celebrating, and I too am celebrating. Therefore, I am going to embrace my mamminess for this situation. Them two should have never got together. But Jeezy has shown us over the years that he does not enjoy the company of black women. He married Jeannie. The man is almost 50. He has baby mamas and other children, and the one he decides to marry, because she thought she was chose, when them clear yellow women like to throw in our faces that they were chose by the black man. He divorced her after 2 years. He filed for divorce first. And when it comes to certain states in the divorce game, whoever goes first has the upper hand. It seems like she was blindsided about it. Anyway, they met on her show when she was on the Real. She was married to a white man prior to that for damn near a decade, and was very public on her stance about not having children, and that being the ending to her marriage. Now, her ex-husband, now he is remarried. I think he got about 2 or 3 children. I didn't do no research on him because he's inconsequential, except the fact that he's white, and that will come into play, and that she publicly, even on her show, defended her right not to have any children. And guess what? Short amount of time after she got married, she's pregnant with child by Jeezy. Now, I'm gonna say all out, she is Vietnamese from the Bay Area. They like black men. They love you long time for black men. I believe Jeannie might practice eugenics, and you're not going to tell me any different. She used that white man, I think. I think she played the long game, her and her mama. There used to be clips about her and her mama all the time because her mama a trip. She's entertaining. I was watching the Star Report, and he was like, yeah, the mom is a normal citizen. Let's not talk about her. No, she's not, Star. She is very active on social media, the mother. She is in all by definition a social media personality. Maybe not an influencer, but definitely through the access of Jeannie and that kid, she is public. She's not a private citizen. So the commentary on his guest saying that they believe the mother and the Vietnamese culture of taking care of the family and everything had something to do with the dissolve of the marriage, and I agree. Um, at it being one part, but back to Jeannie uh practicing eugenics. I believe she did not want a half white baby. I believe she wanted a half black baby, like a what do they call it, a pocketbook poodle. That is what's in style. That is what's in fashion. Okay, a half white baby is not cool in 2023. That is not in fashion. What is in fashion is a half black baby, thanks to part of the Kardashians. Everybody checks for, and I'm going to tell you why. The exposure to the Kardashians and their children are all the half black ones, including Rob's child with Angela White, aka Black China. They are always showcasing that. I know their names. Kim's kids are North, I don't know the order, North, Saint, Chicago, and Psalms. That might be the order. Chloe's kid is True. Rob's kid name is Dream. I have no idea what the all white kids are for Courtney's kids. I believe there's 3 of them. I know she had them with Scott Disick because she's pregnant now with Travis Barker's kid. I have no idea what their names are. I think one name is Maddox. I have no idea. The white kids are not cool. It's the half black ones. The half black ones are what's popping right now. Okay, the curly hair, getting a pass to have them wear Kankalon and purple and blue Kankalon braids. That's what's in. I believe Jeannie wanted a half black child, and I believe if she got a half black child, she was gonna have one with money. Now, is Jeezy the most notable rapper in the world? And he says absolutely not. But he ain't broke. And I believe he made most of his money, got it from music, and then went into real estate. He says he owns a lot of property in Atlanta. So he's not broke. He's not. So if you're going to have a baby by somebody, that's it. Okay? I don't think she changed her name when she was on the Real to the white man's name. She went by Jeannie Mai. She changed her name. On the show, it was a whole big thing. She changed it to Jeannie Mai Jenkins. She was all in. That's why I believe she was blindsided. I think she practiced eugenics, and I really think she was all in with that relationship. Jeezy was on the transition from thug rapper to snowman to entrepreneur, business owner, real estate owner, yada yada yada, suits and ties, rubbing elbows with Black Elite and all of that. I believe she was like, yes, this is it. And I do believe she could have stayed with him. Something happened, and I believe their courtship to me was very quick in terms of marriage, being that age, and being from cultures that are entirely different, with, to me, no real kind of overlap. I married a Hispanic Puerto Rican. Puerto Rico is in the Caribbean. My family is from the Caribbean. Although they are Spanish speaking, there is a lot of overlap when it comes to our cultures. Slaves, Black African, not Black, because I believe Black is an American term. African slaves were dropped off in Puerto Rico. They lived there. They were free there. They stayed there. They married the natives of whatever. There's a lot of overlap, especially when it comes to our food. Big rice eaters. Rice is not Asian. Rice is African. Lot of rice, lot of beans. Stews, gisao, right? Gisao is stew. We eat a lot of chicken stew, a lot of beef stew, a lot of stews. Lots and lots and lots and lots of overlap when it comes to food, culture, music. A lot of drumming, right? The dancing, the gyration, the hip movements, all of that overlapping. I cannot see Vietnamese culture and Black Southern culture having that much of an overlap. It's very, very different. And is it impossible for two people from those cultures to marry? And absolutely not. But I don't think their courtship and the acceptance that it comes to the vastly different cultures, at least on his side, because I believe Jeannie had exposure to Black men and Black culture before Jeezy. I don't think he had exposure to Vietnamese culture. She has publicly said on her platform that she prefers men of color, Black men. She's dated Black men. She's attracted to Black men. I believe she had exposure to Black men and Black culture long before Jeezy. I don't think he had exposure to Vietnamese culture, and it is very, very different. The emphasis on Black families have an emphasis on family, yes, but we do not have an emphasis on financially taking care of our elders. We do not. The way that the Asian cultures do. And we are not giving, a regular person is not giving grandma hundreds of dollars a month. That's not happening. They are not moving into our marital home and establishing their right and their seniority over the marital home. We don't do that. Now, Caribbean people will send barrels home and send money home and that, but we do not share homes. We leave. We leave and we establish our own home, and grandmama and them stay in the house. Now, they might have a sibling. You might have a sibling that's not doing that well and who's living with grandma, but grandma's not living with us unless it is a life or death situation. Grandmama got to be put out on the street for her to come live. Like, our parents have to be out on the street, damn near out on the street. Okay, it is very common in New York to have your parents living in a project apartment alone with the home health aide coming and cooking and helping with chores. They don't live with us. That is not normal in Vietnamese culture. Your parents live with you and you take care of them. You can't tell me that's not animosity, especially since before they got married, Jeezy's mother died. And that's what made them not want to, this is her words, Jeannie's words, that's what made them not want to wait on getting married, because they got married right when the pandemic was almost over, 3/4 of the way. That's why they had a small wedding, because of COVID restrictions. Because Jeezy's mother had died, and she never got to see them get married, although she did meet Jeannie. And they were like, fuck it, why not waste our lives? Life is too short, let's get married. That, I think, was a detriment. I know it goes against y'all Bibles and stuff, but I'm all for cohabitating and living with your partner for at least 2 years before you get married. You have to learn. The first couple of months, we're going to, scrub out the panty and hide it before you see it. We're going to make the bed. We're going to do all this stuff. We're not going to fart in front of you. We're not going to shit in front of you. Let us get comfortable. He not going to be gross and shave his back here and all that gross shit that men do, and leave his socks on the floor and all of that shit. And he going to go and stop and bring you home flowers and all that shit for the first couple of months, if not the first year. Year number 2, we comfortable. We sharing bills. We looking for a bigger place. Let's do this. I've gained some weight. You've gained some weight. At least 2 years. You need to live with somebody and having sex with them for at least 2 years before you get married. You cannot do this sight unseen marriage, because we all put on a mask while we're courting and while we're dating. And you find out who the person really is after you have gotten married. And it's not easy to get a divorce. It is very easy and very cheap to get married. It is laborious and expensive and financially detrimental to us regular folk when you're dealing with a divorce, especially once children are involved. I always used to say, fuck them kids. If you're not happy in your marriage, get a motherfucking divorce, yada, yada, yada. I never understood how divorce hurts children, because I, 1, didn't have any children. 2, I didn't grow up in a married household. I wouldn't know.
The expected delay due to traffic is 5 minutes.
I wouldn't know until I was married. I'm married, have my own children, and realize how distraught my children would be if daddy did not live in the house, and what that means to them. My husband now works on Saturdays. Their whole life, he's never had to work on Saturday. We've always worked Monday through Friday. My children only know Monday through Friday we go to work, we go to daycare or school. Saturday and Sunday, 2 days out the week, we got mommy and daddy time. Saturday, they still ask me, and it's been about 3-4 months, they still ask me, where's daddy? Daddy's at work. What's taking so long? It takes a while, baby. Daddy got to get home. He got to do all this and do all that. Um, they still are adjusting to the fact that he has to work Saturdays, or what that means, that they technically now only get one full day with him on Sundays. And we call it Sunday fun day with mommy and daddy. But they used to have 2 days with us. I could imagine what that would do if they woke up for school every day and daddy didn't come home and all that, because daddy don't live there no more. They would be devastated, because they show signs of being sad when he goes to work. So I understand what that means. When you have two parents in the house, that's all you know, and now you don't know it anymore. So I get why people stay together until their kids graduate from high school. I get it. I get it. It is a big self-sacrifice to be cohabitating and putting on a face for your children, so they don't see how miserable you are with that person, how unfulfilled you are, either sexually or emotionally. You just do it for your kids because you love them. Point blank, period. You don't want to see them sad, and you don't want to see them hurt. I'm not saying the people who split up don't fucking love their kids. I think that's what you're supposed to do. You are supposed to put yourself first, because if you're not in a good place, how the hell are you going to be a good parent? Kudos to the people that are strong enough to realize this shit is not working. I got to get the fuck out, and pray and hope. If you don't pray, you hope that you guys can co-parent cordially and successfully, and be like fucking Omarion and April, and take your kids to fucking Disney World and be all smiles and it's all love. That is what you're supposed to do. Technically, you are not supposed to stay with somebody because you for the kids. That is, I'm not agreeing with that, but I understand why you do it. I don't agree, but I understand. And I might not agree with it, but that's probably what the fuck I would do. Unless, he's beating the shit out of you. I'm not talking about outliers. I'm just talking about emotionally and unfulfilled, yada, yada, yada. So I wonder, the kid is barely one. I wonder if Jeezy saw the signs because he did not have enough time to live and be with her. And I'm noticing that these relationships that have established during COVID are ending. Like Common and what's her face? Common and Tiffany Haddish. That's a COVID relationship that ended. Jeezy and Jenny is a COVID relationship that's ending. You're starting to see all these COVID relationships ending because they were established in trauma. We got, everybody was traumatized during COVID. Everybody was traumatized. We got together during a pandemic. We were out, each other's emotional support, each other's light, each other's everything. And now the pandemic is over, and I really kind of don't like you, or we don't mesh well, or I don't agree with the culture, it's too different, I'm very uncomfortable, whatever it may be. Whatever it may be. Now we're dealing with that. I believe Jeannie is, and she said she would be submissive, not docile. She was going to submit to her husband. He was the man in the house, yada, yada, yada. I don't think that was it. I think it was the culture. I think it was me or your mama, and she cannot give up her mama. Honestly, that's what I think. That's what I think. Mama was living with us because it was COVID. I'm pregnant. I need my mother. I'm having a baby. I need my mother. My baby has just been born. I need my mother. Okay, the baby's one. She's still here. What's going on? I can't get rid of my mom. I can't get rid of my mom. I don't know if it was only the mom. It's also the Vietnamese culture, maybe. She has also said that Jeannie has also said that they're going to raise their daughter genderless and let her pick. I think that's too progressive for somebody like Jeezy. I just think they didn't mesh well. And that's something that they would have learned if they spent 2 years together before they got married. And and 2 years living together. I don't think you should live with somebody. I think you should date for a year, a good solid year. 30. Oh, this advice is for if 30 or over. If you're in your 20s, you have more time to drag this out. You 30, you over 30, this should be your timeline. You date for a solid year, you boyfriend and girlfriend for a solid year, you cohabitate for 2 years, you get married. Minimum. And then you wait at least a year after the marriage, before you bring children into it. That's if you have time. Now, if you're up there and ladies and them eggs is about to be scrambled, no, and you want them eggs to be scrambled and fertilized, and you're over 35 or pushing 40 or 40, yeah, you don't have time for that, baby. I get it. If you want children, you don't have time. Now, there's a prenup. Very smart on both of their parts. Where the prenup says that this prenup was signed a day before the wedding. She's now saying it was under duress. Like my daughter, you're under duress. It was under duress because she signed it the day before her wedding. And that is, if there was a child, that their residence is Georgia, although they have a home in LA, their established residence is Georgia, and all of the child support, legal custody, yada, yada, yadas will be in the state of Georgia. Very smart on whoever drafted that prenup for Jeezy, because Georgia child support laws are nothing like California's child support laws. California will give you crazy ass numbers on child support based on your income, not Georgia. They don't care how rich you are, how much money you have. You are not getting exorbitant, obnoxious amounts of money for child support. No. You will get enough to take care of the child. If Jeezy makes more money, he will then have to pay school fees, health insurance directly, all of that shit, health insurance, yada, yada, yada. But you're not getting $200,000-$300,000 a month for child support, and on top of all that other stuff paid for. So smart on Jeezy. Jeezy's also asking for joint custody, but he's asking for full physical custody, meaning the kid lives with me, and that will decrease his child support. Now, she's Vietnamese, Jeezy's Black American, that child is biracial, he has other children. I didn't do any research on this, but I wonder if he ever tried to get full legal custody of the all Black kids. I don't know. He might have been lost. We only know about this because he has a kid with a celebrity. The other women are normals. And that somebody was able to dig up the legal documents and yada, yada, yada. But I wonder, and I doubted, that he tried to get full physical custody of the Black kids. Now, I think Jeannie practiced eugenics, and so did fucking Jeezy. I think Jeezy could have went his entire life without having another child. He already had 3. He's almost 50. But I think he was okay with having a kid with her. She doesn't have any children. But I think it was attractive to him, the idea of having this half Vietnamese kid. And I'm not a hater. That kid it's a girl. Gorgeous. Fucking gorgeous. She has like bronze skin. She's not light. She's kind of dark with this gold bronze skin. Her eyes are gorgeous. Now, I'm not sure if she has Jeezy eyes or she has Jeannie's eyes, because they both have, excuse the phrase, I'm from New York, this is what we say, chinky eyes. They both have chinky eyes. They both, so I don't know, but to me, she looks like Jeezy. She's stunning, this baby. Now, I do believe he was okay and romanticize the fact of having this mixed kid. I am very curious to know what it was that, but I don't, like I said, I don't think this union should have happened in the first place. It was too different. I love the differences, but it was too different and too quick. Not that it was too different, because I think people of different races and cultures should get together. I do. I think we should mix it up like a fucking fruit salad. But I think you need time to adjust. And I think over time he would have got used to it and he would have got adjusted. But this was too much of a culture shock.